when we are composting, the kitchen waste has 60 to 70% water or moisture content, and that should be absorbed by the brown material here. And we have variety. So there is crushed dry leaves, even if it is moist, because it's raining here in Bangalore. The moist leaves are very good. There is microbial coco peat. There is also a combination of regular coco peat and the microbial coco peat, and then your own compost. These are the browns that we can use to absorb the moisture, the 60 to 70% moisture that is there in the kitchen waste. The other thing that helps is air circulation. So as you can see here, the container is made of perforated sheet, so there is air circulation that will help manage that moisture content. Now the fourth thing that is required is the microbes, the composting microbes, and here we have a variety, because at Kalika Kendra we have local breed Gujarat Gir cows. We get plenty of cow dung, and the cow dung is what is helping us to compost up to 1000 kg of kitchen waste from the community, that's collected from the community. There is also commercially available microbes powder that you can see here. There is your own compost, the community compost that is generated. Best use is reuse. Reuse it as a brown as well as a source of microorganism. That's what can help actually reduce the cost of composting. And there is microbial coco peat that's commercially available. So these are the options. You can pick and choose which one is easy to get and suitable for you. Now let us see how our Paurakarmikas from Bommanalli BBMP are going to load each of these composters. So there is Aga from Daily Dump, which is one of the very successful community composter available, and here so they are loading 20 kg of kitchen waste. The easy to measure is actually, if you have a 20 liter paint bucket, if you fill urban kitchen waste in that, it's about 10 kg. That's easy for Paurakarmikas to understand, and so they are actually adding it into the composter here. And in this composter we are only going to use some regular coco peat and old compost. We are not going to use crushed dry leaves in this because it's not really recommended. Here is some crushed dry leaves that Hanmantappa is actually adding. Hanmantappa microbes powder. One day on the CD. So he's going to take a fistful of. Yes, they are from Bommanalli zone, and they work for our civic agency BBMP, Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike, and they do a fantastic work. They have learned, they have upskilled, learned to actually how to manage these composters. So it's not just about garbage collection that they should be confined to. They can actually do more by actually composting the kitchen waste, and then also they can also help in growing safe food, and then in turn they can actually talk to more residents, tell them about our Kalika Kendra, bring them over here. So there is so much more that they can do rather than being just garbage collectors. So that's the thing. What they did now is added the kitchen waste, covered it with some regular coco peat and old compost, and then sprinkled the microbes powder. Now they're going to close it, and that is Daily Dump Aga. And we also have a leaf composter here that's from That's elements. That's from Savita Hiremat's company, Endlessly Green. And we're going to, that's a leaf composter. Now here is a mesh composter called Shishira, where they are actually going to add 40 kg of kitchen waste. While they are adding, they are actually spreading it. They are not really dumping it. That's one very important thing, that they actually should be spreading the kitchen waste. See, when it is well segregated, the kitchen waste, you can see how beautiful it looks. It's a good resource, and it's being spread on the on a bed of dry leaves that's already set up. No, we have not shredded. If you shred, it is actually faster. The composting would be, but here it is not shredded today, and still it works. But maybe it takes few more extra weeks to compost. We do shredded dry kitchen waste also can be added into this. Now that they have added the kitchen waste, they are going to sprinkle cow dung slurry, and that's from our native cows that we have, and they will take a small jug, and then they're going to actually sprinkle cow dung. Cow dung is a very good source of beneficial microorganisms that not only will make composting faster, it will also enrich the compost as well. So it's a good source of nitrogen. So it's, as you can see, it's very important that we should have well segregated waste. Then the work is faster. They don't need to actually spend time by wearing gloves and taking out all the plastic that would be there. This actually helps a lot when we citizens segregate our waste properly and hand over the waste to the garbage collection vehicle. So now that they have added the sprinkling the cow dung, we're going to add cover it with dry leaves. Sorry, do you?
Did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Keep this covered or we can?
So it depends on different community composting. No, not in this, because this is actually the mesh composters are open, whereas other FRP containers, fiber reinforced plastic containers like daily dump aga that we saw, and then we have few more. There actually it will be covered. So it depends on whether the bottom is is where the water gets clogged or not. As you can see here in this mesh composter, it is placed on a set of cement blocks, and when it rains, rainwater will go in and then the water will go out. There is no clogging in the bottom, and that's what makes it the most efficient composting method is the mesh composters. So now that we have actually covered the kitchen waste with dry leaves and added the cow dung slurry, we'll move on to the next one. This is solar marigold from Prudent ecosystem, and this is another very good system which where solar energy is used to increase the temperature by 5 degrees centigrade with the this thing. So the next one is stone soup. Aditi is the composter. For each of these composters, we have a board here where it shows the name of the composter, the company from where it is from, and also the daily capacity, the total capacity, the space required, and the contact information. Now we're going to add the kitchen waste into Aditi. Again, this is a mesh composting unit, and it's very easy to harvest compost because the walls of this container will collapse, will actually come down, and will be easy to harvest. This has a roof.
So wide, I think it's much more faster because there's so much of width in the container.
Absolutely. Air circulation is very good, and it's very wide. We use the regular cocoa peat to cover the kitchen waste. It's very important that you cover the kitchen waste completely with regular cocoa peat, some microbes powder, as well as actually old compost in containers like this. So we have Dr. Shanti Tumala, one of the volunteer from HSR Layout here as well, and she has come to support.
My hero.
Yes, our hero.
So we, all the three of us, Vasuki, myself, and Shanti, and of course Anuradha, who will be joining, are all part of SWMRT, the Solid Waste Management Roundtable, and we've been together for more than 12 years, and we love to create awareness around waste and waste segregation and composting and complete cycles in your homes and communities. That's been our goal and our mission.
Okay, so this is Artha from Endlessly Green. Vani, you have this composter at your community.
We are a have two of them, and it's working brilliantly.
Yes, it's nice and compact, and it can actually be in your driveway, in your parking area, and it can take 30 kg of kitchen waste per day. It has these pipes which will help improve and enhance the air circulation. This composter is also a lane composter, meaning on your street you can actually have it in front of your home, and Dr. Shanti here has one in front of her home, and waste from about 50 homes, about 40 kg gets composted every day in this lane composter in front of her home. So there is as you can see, there is a door in front, and you can actually remove the nut and bolt, and you will be able to harvest the compost from this FRP, fiber reinforced plastic container. Now we have the next one.
920.
We have actually the FRP composter from Shuddh Lab, and it has actually holes on this FRP sheet, and this is a very good composting system as well. And there is R-bin stacks. This is a very interesting composter wherein you can use vertical space. You can keep adding additional units so that you use more vertical space than the horizontal space, because horizontal space in urban apartments is a very difficult thing, and this is also made of FRP, fiber reinforced plastic, and this is a good system. Now the next one is My Green Bin. This is a Chennai based company and very popular, and here also we have 20 kg of kitchen waste being added, on a bed of yes, similar to Artha. And they have additional pipes for extra air circulation, and we are going to use some regular cocoa peat in this composter. As you can see, about 200 kg of kitchen waste is being layered in a half an hour's time, and that's only possible when citizens actually segregate their waste and hand over the waste to people. So segregation is the key to success in community composting. So now that the kitchen waste has been added, they're going to cover it with some regular cocoa peat and some old compost into this composter. Now next to this is a rotating drum that's from Spintech. It's called continuous composter. And today we are going to show how to harvest compost from this this drum, where the fourth drum will have the compost. So our intent is to showcase how to harvest the compost. So I'm going to go on to that side while Hanumantappa, who is doing an amazing job covering the kitchen waste with regular cocoa peat, and we have Jayanna assisting him. Important thing is engage your civic agencies workers, work with them, respect them. They are not actually just people who just collect garbage. They actually do a fantastic job when they are encouraged and respected, and citizens and volunteers work with them. So the Spintech rotating drum is a very interesting composter. Shanti appears from nowhere, anywhere, whenever it is time to harvest compost, because she loves. So compost is something she likes to harvest, and cow dung slurry is something that she loves to make. So the drum is being rotated for additional mixing, and now it is also rotated to harvest the beautiful black gold over there. So it's moist, it has about 60% moisture, water content, and yes, not everything gets composted at the same time, but it is a good thing. So there is a bone, animal bone, but it will compost. Whatever is not composted, take it out, toss it into your next container, and it will get composted. So this is the beautiful black gold. You do see some leaves that are not composted. No problem, we can actually take it out, and next cycle it will compost. And this is the microbial method of composting, and do not really go for any 24-hour composters. Those false promise from the 24-hour composter is not a good thing at all.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They consume so much of energy, electricity, and of course, what comes out of it is definitely not compost. It's just burnt waste that comes out. It's not even good for the soil. It's proof that you can actually harm your soil more than help the soil. So don't fall into 24-hour composting methods, because composting is an actual process that can take time.
So we have kitchen waste here, and it will be added into the mesh composter. This is again Shishira mesh composter, and it can take about 100 kg of kitchen waste, because this is a bakasura, and it needs lot of kitchen waste. And again, spread your kitchen waste, any chunks, make sure that you don't have too many lumps. And in this composter we are just using kitchen waste crushed dry leaves and cow dung slurry. One of the interesting thing that happens is at least there are about 30 or 40 chickens and some ಕೊಕ್ಕರೆಗೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಕೊಕ್ಕರೆ ಕ್ರೇ so krails sorry they actually love to jump into this composter and eat all the worms, maggots, so you don't need to hand over them as a meal in a banana leaf. They know how to munch on this protein rich and very delicious maggots. That's what they do. So now that the kitchen waste is being added, we're going to add cow dung slurry, administer cow dung slurry. Jaggu. They added about around 80 kg right now. Yes, yeah, 80 kg. So now they are going to actually sprinkle cow dung slurry. Hanmantappa, hange tagoli. Yes. Yes, every day about 300 kg of kitchen waste gets layered into these composters on a daily basis, and about 500 kg gets layered in the community vermicomposting bins that we have at the Kalika Kendra. So a 1.5 acre park can be converted into composting center. And also you can actually use the compost for all these trees that you see here. So again, Shanti appeared from nowhere and now added the cow dung slurry. Yes. That's the right mixture. So she found it very thick. So it's important that you add the microbial input right on top of the kitchen waste, so that microbes get a chance to work on the kitchen waste. And again after that you cover it with browns. So the browns here used are crushed dry leaves, and it's also kind of semi-composted. Don't worry that it is moist. It's absolutely fine as long as you cover the kitchen waste with this material. This is a precious resource available abundantly in HSR Layout because they have lot of trees, and in about 22 parks they have built cement tanks of 20 feet by 10 feet and store all the dry leaves, and they semi-compost it, and it's a resource that you can use in your composting. So that way you can reduce the cost of composting. It's not that you always need only regular coco peat or microbial coco peat. You can use your own compost and as well as this crushed dry leaves abundantly, and make sure that you can actually manage your composting process.
One amazing community that is created so many ways. Biomass getting converted into this great soil amendment.
Yes, so that is actually the end of community composting tool. It's actually for apartments. They can visit and choose which is a suitable system based on the area available. But before that, they should have 90 to 95% segregation. Then only you can go for composting. secondary segregation is expensive, tedious, and labor intensive, and it's not good. So, not good. So now we are actually going to walk towards, our second program, which is black soldier fly breeding, feeding, and to manage large amount of kitchen waste and convert it into, very protein-rich black soldier fly. So here, while we are going on the way, would like to show our Gauri, Lakshmi, and Ganesha, and the beautiful symbiotic life between the quail and the cow. So that's the beauty of having an ecosystem in your learning center where they all live together, and we human also can actually be part of it.